Girlies, please trust your gut instinct, like no matter what. Even if you end up being wrong, like at least you are cautious. Because let me tell you the craziest story. So I have this friend, and at the time that this happened, she was in a really vulnerable position. She ended up meeting this other girl, and she told me, like, I've met this girl, she's super nice, we've been hanging out. I was like, that's really nice, I'm happy for you, that's great. She showed me some pictures and I was like, oh, she seems nice enough. She invited me out to dinner with this woman one time. And the moment I met her, I was like, there are bad vibes. I don't know why, like, I thought this about this person because they hadn't done anything to me. They were like so nice, like, oh hey, let me take you a jacket. Sit down, have a seat. She paid for my food. She was just really nice. Like on the way home, it was raining and she gave my other friend her jacket so that my friend wouldn't get wet. And I was like, that is so sweet. But I knew something was very, very wrong. It was just something. My friend decided to go on vacation to Bali. And while she was on vacation to Bali, it was winter in my country. At the time that my friend was going on vacation to Bali, I was in Japan. I was living in Japan, so I wasn't in England. And my friend said to this woman, you can stay in my house because I know you don't have heating. She gave her the keys, she went off to Bali, she was like, stay here as long as you want. And guys, when she told me this, I was like, something is so wrong. But I didn't say anything because I didn't want to be that person that's like, oh yeah, like stay away from them for no reason. So my friend gets back from Bali like 2 weeks after I moved back from Japan. I pick her up from the airport because I missed her. And she tells me that when she was away, she got a call from the landlord that owns her apartment saying that they had changed the locks and changed the key because some disturbance had happened. And immediately I was like, okay, I gotta say something. I was like, I don't trust the woman that's staying in your apartment. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I think something's happened. And she was like, yeah, she called me and she told me that she needs to change the locks to get back into the apartment to clean it. And I was like, to clean it? What do you mean? She didn't, right? My friend was like, yeah, I let her change the locks one more time to get back into the apartment. My first thought was like, and I just thought I was being like delusional. I was like, there's no way, like whatever. Anyway, we stayed in London for a little while and then we went back to go check out her apartment. When we got into her apartment, there was like hair, like all rubbed into the carpet, like everywhere, like loads of hair. This woman had ransacked my friend's house, stole all of her expensive stuff, stole all of her nice clothes. She had also stolen like documents, important documents, medical documents, just really random stuff. So I helped my friend clean her house and it took us 3 days to clean everything. On the second day that we're cleaning, the landlady, she stops by the house to talk with my friend that owns the apartment. She said that the disturbance that happened was a really bad odor coming from this house. And she said it was so bad that all of the neighbors could smell it. Everybody in the apartment block, upstairs, downstairs, everyone on her floor could smell it. And it was so bad that they had like multiple reports for it. So the landlady was like, I thought you like in your house. When we opened the door, there was a girl living in there. She told us that you were away on vacation and she was just cleaning your house and you'd left out a packet of meat and it was rotten. And I was like, ain't no way a packet of bacon smells so bad that everyone on her floor can smell it, the upstairs can smell it, and the downstairs can smell it. There's no way. So my friend is cleaning the living room. I'm like, let me clean your bedroom. I go to clean her bedroom. There's hair everywhere. And by the way, the hair that was rubbed into the carpet was black hair. And this girl was blonde, so I know it wasn't hers. She was also an immigrant to the country, so she had absolutely no friends. She had no connections in our country so far. And I'm only telling you that because it's important later in the story. So when I'm in the house, I'm getting this really bad, like, vibe. There's no way that happened here. I'm being delusional. Anyway, I moved the rug in her bedroom and guess what's underneath it? Nice big patch of blood. But it wasn't like super vibrant. It looked like it had been washed with something. Hell no, like I was right, something happened here. So my friend tries to get in contact with the girl. She ends up FaceTiming her and the girl said, I'm back in my country. She was just like randomly, I went back to my country. I just went back to my country. This makes no sense because she was planning on going to college in my country. Anyway, I think my friend ended up contacting the police for the stolen stuff and also for the on the carpet. But anyway, yeah, girlies, trust your gut instincts.
Watch me do a no design while I tell you guys a story. Somebody submitted this story through the link in my bio. If you guys want to do that, go ahead and check it out. So this person said, this one time when I was 19 years old, I started working at this fast food place. Now, a little while after I started working there was this one guy who we'll just go ahead and call Jose. And he would come in regularly. Jose was the same age as me. And like I said, he would come in almost every single day. And if he didn't come by himself, he would usually come in with his friends. But regardless, he was a regular. So eventually I did end up asking him out. And then we started talking. So we ended up taking it slow. And then he asked me me to be his girlfriend, and of course I said yes. Fast forward 2 months later of us being together, I decided it was the perfect time for me to introduce him to my family, so that's what we did. And of course my family loved him. Eventually I ended up getting pregnant by him, and I decided to tell him, and unfortunately after I told him, he ended up leaving me. But I decided to keep the baby anyways, and I went throughout my pregnancy. I ended up giving birth and the baby was perfect, but then a year later my baby daddy reached out to me and said that he missed me, and we started talking again. So we ended up getting back together. Fast forward a few months later, everything was going fine until I ended up finding out that he was cheating on me. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, literally the same day I found out he was cheating on me, he ended up getting into a car crash and died. So now it's just me and my baby by ourselves, but I guess it's okay because we're happy.
I lost my boyfriend's dog and I don't know how to tell him. Am I an awful person for this? Disclaimer, is not my story time, is sending me an Instagram. Please give this girl some legit advice. She is suffering right now. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 months. It's a really new relationship. It's my first serious relationship. So far, I've done everything in my power to impress him in any way I can, including becoming the mother of his dog. Just moved out of his parents' house and he adopted this beautiful dog from a shelter. The puppy is rambunctious though. He will go crazy at anything. He gets super excited and likes to run around. So my boyfriend asked me if I could walk him every day since I work from home. We worked out a schedule. I'll sleep over at his house 3 days a week. When he goes off in the morning to work, I walk him once, then I get on my laptop and work, then at my lunch break, I'll take him out to walk again, and right before my boyfriend comes home, I'll take him out a third time. My boyfriend is really tired after he comes home, so the last thing I want him to do is be responsible for taking the puppy out. So last week, I took out the dog. It has been the bane of my existence ever since. I am suffering. I took him on a walk like we usually do. I didn't notice that his harness was not put on properly. This was my bad. But also, he just moves around so much when I'm putting it on him because he's so excited to go out. I took him outside, and within 2 minutes of starting our walk, he literally just ran. I kept calling him and he ran. I chased him and he ran even more because he thought we were playing a game. You guys have no idea how much I was suffering. I was literally on my knees begging him to come back, crying my eyeballs out. That's when I pulled out my phone and lied to my boyfriend. I told him that he must have escaped through the dog flap. For an entire week, this dog was missing. His family and him were suffering. They even put out a $20,000 reward, but thankfully we found him a week later when a neighbor called and said they spotted him. And after 6 hours of driving around looking for him, we finally found him. Thank God he is totally safe. Now I want to tell my boyfriend the truth, and I realize I lied to him. I feel like I can't retract on what I said. Did I tell him the truth, or should I just let this go? I feel like a terrible girlfriend. Help me, please.
I feel like this is gonna sound mean, but being friends with an insecure girl can be one of the worst experiences. Specifically, insecure girls who really crave male attention. The issue is they will always be in a competition with you. It doesn't matter like how pretty they are, how much they have, they will always want to tear you down and take from you. I dealt with this one girl who I thought was a really close friend. We were friends for like 4 years, I think. And at first it wasn't very noticeable because I literally looked up to her. I was like, wow, she's so pretty and she has everything. Everybody likes her, she's smart. And it wasn't until years later after I finally cut her off that I realized how toxic she was. So we usually hung out in a group of 3, and the first red flag was whenever the other girl had a crush and she expressed it, this girl would immediately start pursuing that guy even though she had no connection to him prior. The other friend only ever had crushes on guys that she was already friends with, but this other girl had no connection to him until her friend was interested in him, and then all of a sudden she's messaging him. She actually ended up dating 3 of those guys that my friend had a crush on. The other friend just was like, okay, whatever. I think the other friend valued the friendship more than a guy, so she wasn't like willing to let a guy get in between their relationship. Anyway, I never really expressed interest in dating to her because, I mean, look at the way she acts. I also wasn't really interested in dating at the time, like it was just not a priority for me. One day she asked me about this and I said, I haven't really felt the need to date. And after that, she went around speculating about my sexuality. I remember there was this one guy who she thought was really cute, and one day he told her he thought I was cute. I was not interested in this guy at all. This actually really upset her, and she came to me and said like, I think it's so funny that he thinks you're cute. That made me feel really bad about myself because I was like, oh, she thinks I'm ugly. She thinks that it's funny that somebody would find me cute. And that's where you can really see our perceptions were different, because while she valued so much how men perceived her, I really valued her opinion. So her telling me that affected me more than him saying that I was cute. She would always be trying to compete with me. This goes for everything, like even career path, like classes I was taking. Like no matter what, she was always in a competition with me. It was so exhausting. It's like she was always trying to prove to herself that she was better than me, prettier than me. Looking back, I do wonder why I stayed friends with her for so long. There's really only so much you can take from a friendship, and she's one of those dangerous types of friends who tears apart your confidence. And that's why I've sworn off being friends with insecure girls